Happy Thursday, everybody. It's a nice sunny day here in Connecticut. Is it not sunny?
It's not. It's not Thursday.
Oh, well, it is if you're watching this on Thursday. Happy
Fair enough.
Thursday. Yeah. And if you're not, happy Wednesday. It's snowing and it's terrible. Thursday's great.
I'm not going to fight you. I can't say that every Wednesday has been sunny and could be snowy somewhere.
Is Kish being racist right away or anti Semitic? Long Island Jewish?
No, I think that's the name of the cafe.
It can't be.
Mm-hmm.
A location in a religion? That's what they call it?
In Long Island, they put them in one area.
Hey, the Staten Island Buddhist. Great coffee.
That place would last about 5 minutes on Staten Island. Both sides of the island would be like, fuck that.
And look at this fat piece of shit with his stupid tits. What's he think he is? Middle Eastern soprano?
What? Why come sometimes Buddha be skinny and other times Buddha be super fat?
Are they, wait, is that area black or
There's
Italian?
two distinct parts. I'm saying both parts would be like, let's get the Buddhist out.
What are the parts?
Black and Italian.
Wait, he said it's a hospital? The Long Island Jewish Hospital? Buy one, get one heart attacks.
Knew a guy who set up a bunch of Jewish hospitals in his country. They weren't great at saving lives, though.
Oh. What's your insurance plan? I'm like, I hope you got money.
Chimneys.
Oops. Is Kish Jewish? Jew-Kish?
I don't know.
I don't think he's Jew-Kish.
I think Kish is still part of that generation that doesn't discuss religion. He's
but
one of the last.
Long Island Jewish, like it's his rap name. That's his SoundCloud rap name. It was me, the Long Island Jewish.
It's his Instagram account that just steals other people's jokes and reposts it as his own.
Yeah. He's like, knock, knock, who's there? Me, bitch. It's like million views.
Long Island Jewish.
Jew.
He's fighting Sam
L.I.J. The L.I.J., baby. So how was your evening? What did you do last night? Anything?
My evening was good. I discussed the Taiping Revolution with the history.
The typing revolution? We had to write things down. Then one day we had to use our fingers. It was the typing revolution. All the broads, dames, and skirts were doing it. Ding, ding.
Nope. If you look into this story, I can assure you, you will enjoy it more than your fake typing revolution. There's an element here that Pat would love.
It's fake. How fucking dare you? The typing revolution is real. Yours might be better, but don't fucking fake out my typing revolution. Do you understand what happened? Bitches were writing shorthand.
Chinese Jesus, Pat. Chinese Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a guy who thought it was Chinese Jesus.
Yeah. That's no Jesus. You couldn't even put Chinese Jesus on a cross because he's too tiny.
No, because he faked his death rose from the grave, much like real Jesus, we came to learn.
I know. We had a whole Chinese Jesus episode.
No, we didn't. Trust me. There's so much more there.
It's not.
The CIA was involved. It's fucking nuts. And the CIA didn't even exist then. But more importantly, the minute they brought me on, they've said from the POS podcast with star Pat Oates, the History Homos.
Oh. Why? Even that Chinese Jesus, that's the second location religion we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Long Island Jewish, Chinese Jesus, History Homo.
Chinese Jesus would kick the shit out of the Long Island Jewish.
I mean, they have it coming. If the history of the Jewish and the Jesus, they got it coming. And the history between the Long Island and the Chinese.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. Like, it's a lot of visceral anger coming to Long Island to deal with that.
Kish. Kish said, I am not only a Roman Catholic, I have a Monsignor in my family. Be my Kish. Be my Kish.
Monsignor in the family. I don't know how I feel about that.
I think that means deacon.
It's like the king of the local church, right? Like they're the boss. You could just
I
be a
thought that was
normal
like
priest.
the deacon, the guy who's like, I'll hand out the treats.
No, the opposite. He's the one who you have to pretend's more important because he's kind of in charge. And you're like, didn't God bless all of us? Wasn't Jesus' whole thing like
blessed one of us? Just a kiss and a black on the bus. What if God was one? That song was the worst song.
Yeah, I think thankfully I missed that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say happy you weren't thriving in those times.
No.
That was like early 90s.
Yeah, I don't thankfully.
Yeah.
It was that whole weird era too. Like Dave Matthews had a one like that too, or
Crash
didn't he? What?
Into me, yeah.
No, it was even
a commenter. Yeah. And I come into you. And then Africans come out and the boy see. It's like, where's that African from? He's like, and the boy see. And then every year they'd release a new album, and it was the same album, just in a different fucking like location. It's like we're gonna play Ants Marching in Colorado now. Like, great. Are you frozen or are you just chilling? Nice. I don't know what happened there. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Hello, Terry Nee. How are you, sir? I don't know what happened with that part. I don't know where Bobby's at. Hopefully he'll pop back in a second. Maybe the terrorists got us. The terrorists will win. How are you, sir? God smitten him. I was smited. And maybe Bobby was smited. We did. It was too much Jesus and God talk. That's what happened. We were smited, according to Terry Nee. Well, I can't hear you, Bobby. So,
who knew?
What?
I thought it was just my Mac crashing. Anyway.
Yeah, we were smited. That's what Terry said. God struck us down because we were talking about him too much. Okay, sorry, God.
I think what happened was the Chinese God was mad about you and your typing revolution. And so he was like, you know what? Fuck that. No POS today.
So you thought, A, you're going to blame me, and B, you think it's smart. If this is the case, you're going to stir it some more and bring it up.
No, I'm blaming Chinese God, to be clear. Not you in the slightest, Pat. Chinese God doesn't have a sense of humor.
You said Chinese God's mad at you.
He's mad at you. Yeah. But it's his fault. Now he's an irrational God?
I think he would like that joke, Chinese God. Chinese guys love puns.
I could see that. I could see puns
Good morning, clown face. How are you?
Puns would be more their sense of humor too. I think I know.
I wrote Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I think I know the Chinese culture because I was baptized by Chinese Jesus, so it allows me to speak on the issue. I wouldn't want to speak irreverently about a group of people I'm not a part of.
Oh, irreverently. Oh, irreverently. Oh.
Pat, I was listening to an Australian describe the Chinese situation, and at one point, Hong Ziquan went to Hong Kong, and it was just like, this sounds like a joke somebody wrote.
Yeah. It's I wrote a pun yesterday, and it was doing pretty good on Facebook. So I'm like, I'll throw it over on the TikTok. It lasted 1 minute, and it got banned. They got shut down right away. Yeah, V's clown face. Yeah, what up, V?
I figured that's what we had going on. Let's go. He's back.
But yeah, I put one up that said, some of you people are like a highway being redone. Retarded. And a lot of people like, it's the stupidest thing ever. I was driving, I saw someone retarding something. Like, oh, it's funny. I put it on fucking TikTok. Dude, 1 minute later, it says, warning, you can't go up, standards. I'm like, all right. So I thought it was because I put the hashtag retarded. So I was like, all right, I'll take that down and do it again. And they're like, we will take down your channel if you keep putting this up. Like, all right, TikTok, relax.
Why did they care about retarded? Is that like anti-Chinese? They're like, no, you be smart here.
Yeah, I was like, but I didn't say retarded. I said retard, RETARREDIT. There's way worse puns on there.
I mean, maybe the Chinese hate puns because they took down mine where it was like, have you fucked that chick? No, her pussy smelled torrid. And then it was a picture of the torrid models.
Yeah.
And so maybe they do hate puns.
I did one the other day on stage where I was like, my dick is like a tuna can. And then someone goes, oh, it's like small and thick. I'm like, no, it stinks. This lady just don't spit out her water. I didn't really have a comeback for her when she said it. So I'm like, I'll just go with this awful thing about myself.
It needs drained.
That's it. I don't. Do you think we should do the thing today where at 9 o'clock we scrambled and we just cut our viewers in fucking quarter?
No, I think we should do it today because Kish made an not Kish, V made an account specifically to watch on your channel.
Right. But no, and I like it too. But I think we might have to sacrifice your views for the second hour on YouTube and see if we can get them over here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Cool.
So he's watching on yours now. He made a new account so he could everybody's in one place.
I meant on your YouTube as well. That was our main hub of people yesterday. Was your YouTube.
Because of V, and now he has a new account and is watching on your YouTube so we can cut it.
No, but I mean other friends too. Well, I'm happy V's here, but I think silent friends.
They all wanted to chat though, I think. So either way, we'll figure it out at 9. We're
right now. I don't know why you just can't say okay. It didn't matter that it's V. I was just saying, hey, it was cool that we had a bunch of people over there chatting, and if we come over here, it's great. And I'm like, I don't. I feel like this is I've divorced this. We're saying the same thing, babe. I don't know the problem here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I got that answer too. Now we're just yep.
I don't know what you want from me. I was just saying. I think we
See,
should do your plan.
Too.
Everything fucking works. You're the man. We're gonna go with your plan. Everything's cool. I don't know what else I could say other than I think we solved the problem that maybe I shouldn't even stream on YouTube at all anymore because V's now over. That was the main reason we were doing it.
I was just trying to make a fun joke, conversation, argument about relationships. That was it. My bad.
Well,
didn't mean to have fun in the morning. I get yelled at for fun in the morning a lot. A lot of people wake up because they still drink and they're like, hey, I don't like fun in the morning. I'm like, I don't drink. I like fun in the morning. Can you not be fun right now? I'm like, if I'm not fun, I kill myself. How about that, YouTube? You like that one? Unalive my ass. Retard does not mean to stop, dude. It means to it's slow. Kish doesn't even know what retard means. Just retard. Oh man, there's a lot of good stuff out there today. But I think you mind if I start with a story?
Sure.
Do you know what a trad wife is?
No.
I don't either. But this lady's one, and she claims to be a trad wife. She's a TikToker. She was fired, though, after using the N-word in a foul-mouthed cooking video. Good morning, everybody. A TikToker who claims to be a trad wife has been fired after crassly dropping the N-word in a cooking video. Lily Gaddis filmed herself in the kitchen as she used a racist slur and also referenced dumb whores, immigrants fresh off the boat looking for green cards and gold diggers. The video racked millions of views, or TikTok took it down. Following backlash, Gaddis posted a non-apology video Monday, admitting the clip seemed to have upset members of a certain community. All the backlash made me do a deep dive and a soul search, and after all that, I still couldn't find a care, Gaddis said. Before videos took off on social media, Gaddis worked as a marketing and sales manager at Rofi of the Carolinas, a home health care company for the elderly and disabled in Wilmington. Although Rofi of the Carolinas did not name Gaddis, it emphasized in a statement Tuesday that the newly hired employee was axed over inflammatory remarks on social media that do not align with the values and beliefs of our company. Oh no, I just got fired. #mob, Gaddis retweeted that night. In the video of the center of the drama, Gaddis airs her grievances that certain guys think all women are gold diggers as she cooks in her kitchen. You are getting the opinion from some dumb whores and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that is the exception. I am the rule. Everyone I know that is married right now is married to broke ass N-words, and they don't care. We don't give a fuck about money. This lady's pretty ballsy for a cook. She previously gained some notoriety for ranting on the Chinese-owned platform that nerds in high school, the people we didn't hang out with, grew up to be famous actors, tech billionaires, and scientists who are now making laws and ruining the world for normies like her. I think it's funny that she's got these opinions while like making a croissant. It's kind of wild that you're just like, oh, here's how you make meatloaf. And guess what? The chinks are the worst.
I mean, you could make the comparison there. You could see how she got from one thing to another.
I can't.
Meatloaf. She's like, you know who eats meatloaf? Not Chinese people. Let me cut them out of this video. Let me say something for them in this video as well, because they're not going to be looking up meatloaf recipes.
Stirring a bowl, and she's like, these stupid whores and filthy immigrants just keep coming to our country. Oh, you gotta like knead in the butter.
I wish you would play this out a few steps more. But go ahead.
Look, what do you mean?
Like, okay, so you, as we learned from V/Clownface, traditional wife just means like a conservative Christian who wants to stay at home and be a
trad is for traditional. Okay.
Yeah. Like Harrison Bucker's ideal woman.
All right.
Now, my point is, if you're just staying at home while your husband's out earning the entire income, that would make you a
gold digger.
You want the exact same thing.
But Bobby, she's earning money with her racist TikTok videos.
Would you say she's perhaps whoring herself out for TikTok views?
Yeah, and she is doing things that maybe somebody who has not legal in this country, like hustling to make money, would do, like an immigrant.
Do you think she's reporting that entire income? I bet not.
No. But I think if she does report it, she goes, I'll report it like the rest of these poor ass Edwards do. And then you have to pour the water in slowly. Don't pour it all in at once.
How do you just slip that into your cooking video?
It sounds like she didn't slip it in. It sounds like, if anything, she slips in the recipes. And then she just does like a Paula Deen meets Tucker Carlson like rant in the middle of her goddamn cooking show.
I think she found the niche that sells. She's like food and conservative core values.
Now, I won't say you didn't go look her up or anything, right?
No, I just Googled what trad wife meant.
Right, but what do you think? If I had to say to you what she looks like, what do you think?
This is a news story, right? I'm gonna say she's more excited, more attractive than I was expecting, just because it made the news. Like if it was a big fat ugly chick, I don't think the news would have given a shit. They'd be like, say the N-word, say whatever you want.
Yeah,
but the fact
she's cute.
Kind of, okay.
She's a cute little white lady, and like you're like, all right, this is why she's just. Life's been pretty easy for this lady, so she can have these fun opinions because she has that like at a coffee place with other people because they all watch like whatever the daytime news or whatever. When the court cases are done, they flip over to like Fox News for a minute and they catch a hot take or something like that, and then they all kind of talk about it, so they have opinions.
They gotta flip back for Maury so that they can yell whores.
See who's perky tits. Wait, hold on, Bobby. I think your tits have to come out.
I think it's the N-word lady.
Oh, man.
That's how she's making her money.
Kevin.
I mean, I'll show my breasts for $20. Money's tight. They're going to be hairier than you're expecting, though, Kevin.
You know it's not tight? These tits. They are loose.
Yeah. And this cunt.
After the fallout, Gaddis doubled down on her use of the racial slur, even as her comments flooded with users in disbelief. In response, in one commenter asking her to repeat herself, Gaddis wrote, "You heard me."
All right. Girl's a bit of a gangster.
She is cute. Yeah, she goes by the way, her TikTok or her Twitter is at Mrs. Butters, which I'm shocked that's available. You would think Mrs. Butters wouldn't be available.
Right away.
She's got it. Yeah, she's cute. She looks kind of like, what's the comedian, that banged Louis J. Gomez? All of them. No, I mean, Natalie Cuomo, But if she wasn't all tatted and like used up,
I think she's like a highway.
someone wants to ride her all night long.
No. I think so. She's a bit retarded.
Boom. This lady or Natalie Cuomo?
I
opened up for the duo of Natalie Cuomo and Autistic Jones, whatever those two guys, that lovely couple, and they were just staring at the wall. I'm like, "You guys okay?" Like trying to find the door. I'm like, all right, let's go for you.
they were like, we got a Mystic Quest. No, I was actually talking about the chef. I just looked her up real quick. Looks like God spent a little extra time in touching her. You know.
I would guess her OnlyFans is Mrs. Butters, Cloudface. I don't know if she has one. A traditional wife doesn't have an OnlyFans. She's just what do they call that? So was it something wife? What is it called when you just somebody just lets other people bang your wife?
Cuckold.
No, but there's a name for the wife. It's like the cuck is the dude. The wife is there's some name.
You know how my cuck porn ends?
I was gonna say housewife, but that's just a regular wife. It's like
my cuck porn ends with one bullet shot and then the other one going, "This is your fault. Live with this guilt as I blow my own brains out."
It's not trophy wife, Kevin. That's just a hot lead. I think I want to say it can't be slut wife. It can't be that simple, but it might be.
I'm gonna live with that slut wife.
By the way, Gladys has since spouted off in a series of tweets relishing in the attention of her videos having garnered her, including one where she once again used the slur. "Thanks, Black community, for helping to launch my new career in conservative media," she wrote on X. "You all played your role well, like the puppets you are." Okay. This lady has opinions. No, it's funny. You know what they should have quoted? The husband. Wait, you're doing what while I'm at work?
Is she married?
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that what this is?
So I thought the whole point was she was saying anybody who's married is either not happy or a gold digger. I'm waiting to find like my prince or whatever, like my Christian partner, which would make it
no. She said she claims to be a trad wife.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense to me.
That's why she's Mrs. Butters.
I was just
she
curious.
Married the guy from South Park.
Well, that's dumb. He's
Butters.
a pimp. He's a pimp, and he's only gonna put out gold diggers on the street.
Yeah, dude. The videos are crazy. She's just like looking into the camera, like, and it's just going, "You're all puppets, all you blacks." Okay, it's like okay. So who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it Mrs. Butters? Hey, she's just trying to put something out there that people pay attention to. Everyone has a cooking show. Everyone has a racist show. But not many people have a racist cooking show. I mean, there's more out there than you think, but there's not a ton. And they're not usually with attractive women. And they're usually yelling at white men, not usually yelling at the people that we're supposed to be protecting now. Everybody with a month. You can't, how are you going to make muffins in June for Pride Month when you're also homophobic? I don't know. How are you going to pull that off when you're cooking? It's like, we'll have M&M sprinkles like those people who will never make it to heaven. Like that's what we're going to do. Is it her for doing that? This is the people on TikTok who obviously reported her. TikTok doesn't care about that. They don't. They get mad at certain things, but it's always when people get reported. I found that all the time. With my thing I've taken out earlier, I know for a fact someone just got scared and went like, "Oh, he said the word retarded kind of, so oh my God, I got to fucking tell on him." So then they just take it down because they don't want to deal with any shit. And that's what it is. So it's the people that are reporting it. Is it the people that were watching this? She had millions and millions of views. And then when she doubled down on it, it went harder. They're like, more. Like, yeah, they might be saying this is messed up, but they're watching and they're probably making the food along with her. Or is it like other cooking channels? Step it up. I stopped watching the Food Network years ago because it became the same old thing. It was the same challenges. Oh, I'm the worst cook. I'm the cutthroat cook. I'm this. What about racist cooks? How about having all different races there and then do it like the loud ones, like a big fat black lady and a Klans member and then like an acidic Jew and then everyone there just screaming hate while they have to make the best treat. And you have to eat the dessert while they yell racist things at you. And if you can get the meal down and still enjoy it, they made the best meal.
I would say, I don't think you actually mentioned the piece of shit, Pat. It's...
I think I mentioned a couple.
I think the piece of shit here is anybody who's excited about this woman being in conservative media. If you can have conservative values and not be a racist, like those two are not synonymous. Just because you said the N-word and went viral doesn't mean you're the new Tucker Carlson. Tucker brought up some good points. And oh, by the way, he used to be a liberal till he got bought off by the conservative media. Anyway, the point being, like, if you're like, yes, this is my new conservative correspondent, then you're a piece of shit. If you're mad she said the N-word, I get it. There's a lot of hate there probably in your history, but also at the same time, she absolutely just said it to get attention. Like, you're giving her exactly what she wanted. That's why in the middle of a Meatloaf making video, she said the N-word. Her husband is the one who taught her how to say it. That's why he's not the piece of shit. Pat, who's your piece of shit?
It might be V's alter ego Clownface. When V's V, he's like, oh yeah, that lady, she's kind of crazy, whatever. When it's Clownface, it's like, where's the husband to slap her around a bunch? It's like Clownface gets nuts. But I took it differently than you took it when she said that about conservative. I thought she was kind of being like tongue in cheek, saying like, thanks, black community, because when she said that and they got mad, obviously the conservative people, that community said, oh, a hero, and then ran over there and started watching it. I don't think that she's saying she is. I don't think she has any opinions that stays firm. She doesn't seem like somebody who's like, it can be waffling. It's whatever. Whoever cut her off in traffic that day is a problem while she's making croissants. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. I just think maybe she set a goal. Like, it seems like, oh, I want to cook so I can practice being in front of a camera, and I need attention. Now, if we had a hot chick on here saying the N-word, Pat, maybe we'd go viral.
Possibly, but even if we had a hot chick that just said hard opinions that women aren't supposed to have, like, I think that's what it is. There's a ton of men who think that women are gold diggers. There's a ton of men who think that, the black community is puppets to when somebody riles them up and stuff like that. It's not true, but there's a ton of men that think that. When women say it, everyone's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" It's like, well, they're finding the same ideologies as those other people. That's all they're doing. They're just people, and at least I don't want to hear that kind of talk. I'm not somebody who's like, "Oh, I want hate speech and all that," but I can it can be on while I'm learning how to make like a bundt cake. Like I don't mind the delivery. It's kind of like taking the medicine for a dog and putting it in a treat. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying to give you this pill here, but I'm gonna coat it in something. You're like, all right, because I'm like, oh, you're an attractive lady who sometimes when she bends over, I can see some cleavage, and you're making a nice quiche. Yeah, I can listen to you talk about maybe that the Chinese are unfair.
You sprinkle in the N-word, I'm in, baby.
Yeah. I just like that she said it, and then they're like, wait, did you just say the N-word? And she goes, you heard me. Like, that's even more badass than saying it again. You heard me is a gangster. She's this tiny little lady.
Maybe her husband's not. Maybe her husband's Tyrus. What's that guy's name? He does Gutfeld all the time.
They would bring that up. If he was Tyrus, the former wrestler who was a dancing dinosaur in WWE.
Yeah, and now he's a dancing dinosaur for Greg Gutfeld.
No, wait, what did she... No, see, it's not. Now I'm looking at this. It's not just minorities though, because she trophy wives, in like that kind of stuff, and gold diggers usually is white women. I mean, it might not always be, but I like that before that she did work. This makes sense. She worked a home healthcare company for the elderly and disabled in Wilmington, North Carolina. There's a lot of racism going on in that home. There's a lot of opinions being yelled at by old white men who grew up in North Carolina, who are now disabled, probably from the war.
That's a pretty diverse area.
No, but the old men that she was taking care of, I think that they don't like people on their lawn.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, I think I would question the quality of care she's providing to the other patients.
Well, that's why she used to work there.
Okay, that's fair.
She was fired because of her fun opinions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So to me, the piece of shit is anyone who was watching her cooking channel. Because that's the thing. Yeah, you gave her the wrong attention. You want to piss this lady off? All the comments shouldn't say one thing. Ignore the N-word. Ignore the gold digging. Ignore the hard opinions. You should just be writing, That cake sucks. Your cooking blows. You're bad in the kitchen. You stink. Just all that. Because she doesn't have anything for that. She thinks that that's second nature. She's doing all the racist things, whatever, to get that out there to get the attention. But if they're like garbage cooking, trash chef, like all that, and everyone's like, well, what about all the stuff she said? It's like I can't even listen to that because the cooking is so fucking bad. This lady stinks in the kitchen. Hashtag Harrison Bruckner. Hashtag get over here. You know what I mean? Like teach this lady a lesson. Just shit on her cooking. You did it wrong. You gave her the wrong attention. That's what she wanted. We all know this girl. We've all met this girl. She's pretty. She throws you off. She's being nice to you. Like, why are you being nice to me? I know I'm like loud and fun and stuff, but why are you all into me and stuff like that? You know, like that. And then she starts talking one day about crazy opinions. And you're like, oh, you're wild and fun. But then she won't stop saying those opinions. Next thing you know, you're just living with somebody who just uses the N-word like salt and pepper. And you're like, holy crap, this is crazy. And then she gets mad about like political stuff for no reason. She's just like, oh, you voted for this person? Well, I didn't know that you were a WAP Jew or whatever. I don't even know the words put together. And you're like, okay, I didn't know that was a thing you said. And you're like, hey, where's all your other friends? You said you hung out. You're like, well, I used to. But they were all in jail now for that January 6th thing. You're like, ah, shit. And then you're like, I didn't know your friends were all there. She goes, I was supposed to be there, but I couldn't get out of work because of my N-word boss. You're like, all right, this is getting a little wild now. And she goes, you need to get a swastika tattoo if we're going to get married. They're like, then you break up.
Or you don't. You just realize you're in and you just stay in.
Yeah, but where would you get your swastika tattoo on your head if you had to? Like, were you on top so you have to wear a hat?
I'd probably, you know me, I'm not getting a tattoo. I wouldn't conform all the way. That would be like our fighting point.
But would you like draw one on with a marker to like appease her?
No. That would be my like, this is what I'm doing to irritate you. I'm not getting the swastika tattoo. That would be like my one, just kind of hold it over her head.
I saw a guy with a swastika tattoo at the casino the other day on his leg. And I'm like, that's pretty wild.
Was he winning?
He's just walking around.
That would be fun if the Fourth Reich was. Yeah, it would be fun if the Fourth Reich was just taking money from all the Indian casinos. They're like, we thought it was Jews. Turns out Native Americans are the problem.
She's not dropping truth, Terry needs. Don't call me cuz. I'm edging your like button. You better get the fuck on that like button. But yeah, I don't know. Everyone's screaming for likes and attention to go viral so bad that it's not even a weird story. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it seems normal. Like, okay, white lady yelled out some wild shit. She'll probably get a reality show. Or I hate to say it, it's a conservative thing. She is pretty. She has opinions. She will be on one of those channels, maybe not Fox News itself, but one of their branch off things or a site or something. Or she'll be on The Blaze next week or something. You know what I mean? Like, they'll just hire her because she's pretty and she'll say some stuff, and then people like that. There was the woman that was on WWE Wrestling. She was the backstage reporter, Charlie Caruso, and now she's Charlie Arnott or whatever it is. But she went over there. I guess she had opinions, even if Vince McMahon was kind of like, I can't let you say that. So she's like, well, I got to go do something. She went to ESPN. They're kind of like, oh, you should leave here now. And now she's just on one of those stations, and she's just all about women are dumb and black people are dumb and gays are stupid. And she's just like a hot lady. So her Instagram's super hot, and everyone's like, well, just keep letting her yell stuff because she's a hot lady. Because I think people just, because she's a hot lady, they let everyone just goes, okay, that's fine. Just keep talking. Just keep being hot, please. And they're like, she forgets the part where that's why that's happening, and she thinks that she's smart.
Yeah. I don't know why anyone would hire her. It just seems like dumb on both sides, to be honest with you. Yes, she's hot, but if you're a conservative, then you kind of are like, no, we are the racist that we've been saying for the past 30 years we aren't. And you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like a lose-lose situation, but maybe they'll hire her. Who knows?
They hire her because they think that the 7 million people that are yelling at her on TikTok will all come over at once and watch the show, which they obviously do not.
No, I know in reality they will hire her. I'm talking about philosophically. I don't understand why anybody would.
I agree with you, but I'm like, I love that it's as dumb as, well, maybe all 7 million of them who were just scrolling through TikTok anyway. Well, now turn around, watch a TV show or a YouTube channel. They're not. It's not the same commitment. Well, how come that comedian who gets 8 million views every time doesn't sell out shows? Because they're watching from their house for 3 seconds. They don't have to go to a show. They're not all going to drive to Idaho. They're from all over the place.
Exactly.
It's convenience.
But
you got something there, N-word?
I do. You want to hear a pride story, a Superman pride story, or a University of Iowa that doesn't involve Caitlin Clark's story?
Was that 2 offers at the beginning, or were you just like doubling down on what it was?
2 separate offers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was a pride story. Like, oh, a Superman pride story, or like, I want Superman pride.
All right. Do you know who Matt Bomber is?
No.
He played Neil Caffrey on Blue Collar. He looks exactly like Henry Cavill.
What's Blue Collar? Like the comedy tour?
No, the TV show. Hang on.
I'm not familiar with
You've definitely seen him because he's been in a bunch of movies and shit too.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure if I saw him, I just don't know the name.
Here.
Oh, Terry Nee thanking Obama already. There you go. Oh, yeah. Either I've seen that guy or I feel like I've seen that guy. You know what I mean? Like he looks like a guy that
exactly like Henry Cavill, who ended up playing Superman, which is crazy.
Yes, and Witcher was even better.
Yeah,
I'm a Cavill fan. I like Cavill.
I have no beef with Cavill, but this story doesn't involve him. Matt Bomber lost Superman movie role after being outed as a gay man. We now know Matt Bomber is one of the most successful out gay actors in Hollywood, but things weren't always easy for him. When I went, this is a quote from him, I went into a cattle call for Superman. It turned into a 1-month audition experience where I was auditioning again and again. On Guiding Light, that was a TV show he was on, there was a killer in town. So the executive producer very kindly wanted to free me up just in case the Superman job came through. So he said, hey, you're going to be the killer. We're writing you off the show. Go with my blessing. So I basically got fired in a generous way. While the decision freed up Bomber to be fully invested in Superman, things quickly went south for the actor. It looked like I was the director's choice for the role, Bomber said. I signed a 3-picture deal with Warner Brothers. When asked if coming out hurt his chances of being in a Superman titular role, the actor replied, yeah, that's my understanding. That was a time in the industry when something like that could still be really weaponized against you. How and why and who outed me, I don't know. That's part of the story. Abrams' Superman Flyby was never actually made or released, as previously mentioned. Still, Bomber... Sorry, ads. Still, Bomber was apparently the frontrunner to play the role in the film, but was dropped as an option after being outed as gay. Abrams actually said that he thought Bomber should go join the MCU because it was, quote, and he winked, much gayer. First, there's Loki, the god of mischiefs, with his flamboyant outfits and dramatic flair. Loki always seems to be one step away from a Broadway stage. His love of chaos and his complex relationships added to the perception. Then there's Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man. His impeccable fashion sense, his love for luxury, and his often flamboyant personality made him a candidate for that list. His close relationships with his male friends, especially Happy Hogan and James Rhodes, added another layer to this speculation. Finally, there's Doctor Strange with his mystical robes, dramatic gestures, and the way he carries himself. Stephen Strange often seemed like he was performing in a grand opera. His intense relationships with his fellow sorcerers and his enigmatic personality only fueled the perception. Pat, who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it Matt Bomber for wanting to play Superman? Okay, we know who Superman was. He was a dude who went horseback riding. That's our Superman. It's always going to be Superman. It's never going to be you, Matt Bomber. Is it J.J. Abrams for his hatred of the MCU and calling them all gay? Or is it whoever outed Matt Bomber? My guess would be Henry Cavill.
I don't think it's Henry Cavill. I don't think he gives a fuck about any of those rules. Henry Cavill would be mad about this, though. Do you know about the whole Witcher thing and why he left Witcher?
Because everybody made fun of it because it wasn't true to the games.
Well, no, he was mad. He was the leader of that. He is a fan of the games and he is a diehard fan of the books. And when he took it on, he asked them right away. He's like, "Can I have some creative control? You guys don't seem to know a lot about it. I just want to be able to. I want this to be Joe. The people that love this love this. I don't care if it's like. He even said like, I don't care if it doesn't become like this global thing. I think we could really nail this, and people will love it. And they started that way. And the first 2 seasons were listening to him, or season and a half, and then they took over like a whole female directive, and they were like, no, we think the women should be in front, and Witcher should be kind of like a background character. He's like, it's called Witcher. It's called The Witcher. Like, it's not called Magic Bitches in The Witcher. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And they kept pushing that whole thing. So he said, with another season left, they're doing it. He goes, I'm out. I'm not doing it anymore. And they got Thor's brother, and he's going to be doing it now. And I'm sure he'll be fine in it. But they really dropped off a season because you could tell he didn't want to be in. You read all things. He was upset. He's like, it's because of the integrity of it. So yeah, he might be mad about it. But Superman, and I hate to get nerdy, Superman is from Krypton. We don't know what's gay and straight in Krypton. Like, we could just say that, but like, the fact that he has sex with anyone here is interspecies. Like, he's not human. So it's like, that's got to be its own pride thing. Maybe that's the I in LGBTQIA. It's interspecies, and then ass play, I think is A. But either way, it's like, who cares? The guy looks like Superman. You showed me that picture, and I was right away. I'm like, oh, he must play as Superman. He's got Dean Cain head. He's got fucking, the Christopher Reeves eyes. That same look. He should play Superman. I would not care if Superman was gay. I'd be bothered if Batman was gay. I don't know why.
Yeah, because he runs around with Robin.
Well, no, that part, but also because he's supposed to be a playboy, and if he's gay, same thing with Tony Stark. When you said that, I'm like, no, Tony Stark's a fucking rich playboy. He's got those dudes who hang with him are like hitmen killers who he jokes with, but everything he has is this extension of his penis. Everything is just weapons, and I can fucking kill you. You know what I mean? Like, they're not that. Aquaman can't be gay either because he fucks fish. Yeah, that's the same guy.
Right, that could be the same guy. I think they found out the dude on the right was gay, and they're like, does he have a celebrity twin?
Well, no, that was... Wait, so this was a long time ago? I didn't catch that part. This is way before Cavill?
So there was supposed to be a movie before Cavill became Superman, but Cavill's Superman is part of the 3 that the dude on the right originally signed for.
Well, they also wanted Nick Cage.
That was... So, yeah, it went Cage, then it went Bomber.
Which Cage doesn't look like any of them at all.
No, I think they wanted to get as far away from that Nick Cage as possible.
I would have liked that.
Yeah, I saw they had a little teaser trailer made up that was pretty good, actually.
What would offend you more? Openly gay Superman, so not just the actor, but like the character, or if Idris Elba was Superman? No explanation. He's just black.
To be honest with you, neither one would bother me.
Yeah.
Same either. I don't really give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking
cartoons. All superheroes are gay. They run around in tights and save the city. And here's what makes them gay. Then they have to brag about it. Like they're a stereotypical woman in the sense that it's like, oh yes, I need the credit for saving the day, but let me put my alter ego on so you don't actually know who I am. Like, yeah, that's about as gay as it gets. You know what a real hero does, Pat? He saves the day and then he just keeps his fucking mouth shut. And then he gets yelled at for saying anything up because you haven't heard from somebody all day. That's what a real hero does.
I'm also waiting for The Boys, Kevin. It's fucking tremendous show.
Did you hear the big announcement?
Better than Superman. That whole show's better than all that. You know what I mean?
Did you hear their big announcement about The Boys? About this season of The Boys is going to be it.
Yeah, I did hear that.
I am a big fan of that they're not going to run it
makes sense
ground.
With the story and everything where they're going to. That and Invincible right now are the best superhero things that anyone's doing. Invincible is fucking... If you haven't watched that on fucking on Amazon Prime, it's cartoon, but it's fucking insane. It's the most violent cartoon I've ever seen in my life. I think I saw Stormy in there and some other lady in there. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, I know I didn't give an answer yet. I think my piece of shit in the story is anyone who overthinks these things. Like, the people that go, Yeah, once again, it's the minority on the internet because it's the people that are like, you can't do this, you can't be gay, Superman. Oh my God, Hollywood's it. It's all people that aren't the ones going to the movie. If I'm gonna go watch Superman, if I'm gonna go watch the Avengers, I'm not thinking about gay, straight. I'm just gonna go watch some silly shit where people smash shit just to get away from life for 3 hours. It's supposed to be a stupid release. Comic books were written so like teenage kids who just hated life and were bored because they didn't want to do little kid shit. They're not adults yet. They had something to read that kind of was out there and different. It kind of spoke to them. It wasn't about fucking is Colossus gay now or is this? It all infiltrates the shit we don't need to infiltrate in. They're not fucking. They're being. A couple years ago when they were like, "Hey, oh my God, Little Mermaid's gonna be black. Does that make you crazy?" I'm like, she was never white. She's cartoon. She's a fucking cartoon. That's not a race. They might have colored her in white or colored her in black, but she's not a person. It's not real. Superman's not gay. Matt, whatever his name is, takes it in the ass. It's not Superman. Their character, Johnny Depp, is not a pirate. Like it's not. Okay. It's not real.
That might be a bad example. He might actually be a pirate.
He might be a pirate. Yeah, I might have made a bad example.
He's no, you bring up a great point. Like comic books were originally written to curb school shootings. Like it was like, hey, you're not a loser who needs to kill all of his friends. You're going to be a hero someday. Right? Peter Parker getting bit by the spider, turning into a hero. Robin's parents dying, so he gets out of the circus and gets to live with a rich man who pimps his butt out for money. You know, all of that stuff was so that you felt like there was a better future out there. And it had nothing to do with what was actually going on. Like they weren't teaching you social messages and shit.
I don't know if we're ready to already name it, but in the running for Husey of the day could be Kevin. I want to bang Jane from Daria. I need paint on my pecker. There's a lot going on. Now, I don't think you would get paint. I don't know if you know how they're doing cartoons anymore. It's kind of computer done. That's not some guy who's like stroking a paintbrush. I couldn't agree more. But it's like, hey, it wasn't even before school shooting, so it really was just like serial killer.
Yeah,
we don't want to grow that thing up, but also it. Stan Lee mostly, but like all the comic guys followed suit. Is the same thing as Walt Disney. They would use young pain to tell a story. Everyone makes the joke, why is every mom in Disney die? Because it's a pain that kids dealt with that nobody talked about. And they did it to go, you can be okay. You go on your own adventures, you find out shit in life. Yes, it sucks. You lost that thing. You're going to be all right. Same thing with the comic books. You lose someone tight to you. Something bad happens. You're put in a situation you can't overcome. And yet you do overcome. Just like being gay in Hollywood, not getting fucked by Kevin Spacey. If anything, you put this guy in the show, and then you make Kevin Spacey the bad guy and everything. And he's not even Lex Luthor. He's just Kevin Spacey trying to fuck the guy who wants to play Superman. And he's like, I am Superman. He goes, yes, you are. You're a Superman. You are. And you better book me because I'm the usual suspect. He's like, please stop doing that. I hate this. Stop being creepy. He's like, look at my house of hards.
We're gonna have to test and see how well you can squeeze into the uniform. Maybe you can squeeze something else in, if you know what I'm saying.
Are you familiar with the work of Mina Suvari? Can you please lay down on this bed and put rose petals on your tits, and I can fucking look at you like American Beauty? That's how I find out my Superman.
Do you want to be my baby driver? Then you could be Superman.
It is crazy that in that movie, American Beauty, it was at the time people were like, oh, Kevin Spacey sleeping with a young girl. It's a little creepy. It's like, you don't understand how well he acted.
Curveball, my friend.
He should have won so many more awards.
So who's your piece of shit?
Kevin Spacey. You know what? Obama.
For me, it's J.J. Abrams. Not because he took a shot at the MCU, but Superman wouldn't have been gay. The guy who is playing Superman is gay, and that would have been a great time to illustrate that point. And that's why we're dealing with a lot of this woke shit we are now, because at that time, if you were gay, you couldn't play a straight guy, like it could ruin your career. What people should have thought was if Matt Bomer, because he was gay, got the role of Superman, and now all of a sudden Superman has to, instead of going into a phone booth, is going to a glory hole and sucking off dicks. That's when people like should have been mad, right? When they're forcing the gay agenda into a comic book movie. I don't think that would have happened with J.J. Abrams. I don't think that would have happened with Matt Bomer. I think this would have been a great opportunity to be like, he's acting. You know what I mean? Like, spoiler alert. I don't know if you know theater kids. Not a lot of Hollywood's heterosexual.
Yeah. You know what sucks about this, though? Because these stories come up so often, this also could be a way if I'm Matt Bomer and I'm like, my career didn't go the way it was, and you just start kind of blaming a thing that might not be it. He's like, if I say this, they can't come and defend it. Like, nobody at the studios can be like, it's not because you're gay, dude. It's because you're a terrible actor and we made a bad decision. We had you read and we realized right away this ain't gonna work. You're just not. It's not you, and you want to blame gay, but they can't say that because everyone's like, nope, nope. That's what you would say if it's gay. So they're in this corner anyway. Yes, Hollywood is pedo and all that shit, whatever. But not every person there is pedo. And now that becomes the excuse. If you didn't hire me, men never had an excuse. You didn't hire me. Well, too bad. You know, you're Ryan Philippe. You're not an actor anymore. Like, there was like how many guys were like kind of cool, and then like, nope, see you later, Chris Pines. It's like, you could have been something Josh Hartnett. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a handsome guy for a minute, and then they fall off when a better handsome guy. It looks kind of like them. All those three guys they named had their own Henry Cavill. You know what I mean? Either Magic Mike or Ryan Gosling or all these guys who look kind of like these guys. They fucking just took right over for him. But nowadays you could just be like, oh, it's because I'm gay. It's like, no, it's because you didn't get the role. It's all it is.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. I think in Matt's defense, the whole article was like how it led to a better career for him. Like, because he missed that, he got blue collar and it led to actual sustained. So he wasn't just bitching. I think it was like their pride profile. But here's where I'm saying it may have been made up. I didn't hear Matt Bomer was gay until the second season of Blue Collar. Like, this story didn't come out. I don't think there was any.
What year did Blue Collar come out? I'm not familiar.
I don't even remember. I was in
Is
college.
That a USA show?
Yeah.
That's what I know. That one suits Mr. Robot, all that. They'd be commercials on during wrestling, and it looked like the same thing, all 12 of them. And it was just like handsome little twinks walking around solving shit.
So in Blue Collar, this guy played an art thief who helped the FBI track down. No, it was White Collar. Sorry, not Blue Collar. The opposite.
Yeah, makes way more sense. The other
White
way.
Collar. Yeah. He would help the FBI track down white collar crimes like forgery and stuff.
He's like, who stole dogs playing poker? It's me, Blue Collar. That Elvis velvet painting is missing again. Call it Blue Collar.
They said I couldn't be Blue Collar because of all the dicks I sucked, but I'm here to prove them wrong.
I like that he came out as gay after the first season. Yeah, no shit, guy who's an art detective. That's so gay.
Do you remember Mr. Big from Sex and the City?
That's Benjamin whatever. Oh, no, that's Chris Noth, right?
The short guy who looks very flamboyant, but is actually super heterosexual. And that was the whole funny thing about Blue Collar, was that the clearly effeminate guy was straight and the clearly like super ladies man in the show was gay. And then you realize that's all of Hollywood.
Yeah, that's the Neil Patrick Harris. We talked about that before. It's like he's supposed to be ladies man, and he just loves the ball sack.
Turns out he's just a lady himself.
Yeah. I don't care that people are gay. Mm-mm. I just don't.
Now, that's where the letters stop for me in that acronym of not caring. But yeah.
I mean, I've never watched this show and was like, I hope that guy fucks ladies.
No.
I don't think about it.
No. You hope the character does if you like the character. Right?
If it's a movie about fucking ladies, but if he's Marmaduke, I don't care.
Okay, well, that'd be Marmaduke's fucking something else.
But I've never watched Superman. Like, I'm just upset that Superman has a girlfriend. That's the gayest thing of Superman.
He has a girl.
You don't need a girl.
Lois Lane.
You're Superman. He should fuck everything. He's from somewhere else. That's why The Boys nails it. That's why like all those superheroes are just like, I fuck everything. Like the fish guy, it's awesome that he just fucks everything.
Yeah. Who doesn't like fucking?
Why not?
Ugh.
Sex in the Country. Now, that would be a crazy show, Cloudface. That'd be a fun show. Sarah
Get
Jessica
in
Parker
here,
just played
Cindy
by
Lou.
I
know you're my
real
sister.
horse.
I know who could play that role.
Oh god damn. We got 2 minutes. So why don't you do plugs quick, and then if you're not on YouTube, move over there. You're not gonna miss this. You guys, Bobby, you like sex parties in mansions that would have all kinds of crazy rules and fucking a dungeon and a lube tent.
I think I met Matt Bomber there.
Yeah, Matt Bomber and all that stuff. We're gonna talk about that over just on the YouTube channel. We're going to do that. So everyone that's over on the other things, on the X and all the fun, please get the fuck away from that. And, and then Bobby, what do you want to plug quickly?
Make sure you check out us in Wethersfield coming up the 28th, right?
28th and the 29th.
And the 29th. And then more importantly, if you can't make the second one, go to that one. The second one is Pat's big album taping at the Mohegan Sun coming up in August, the beginning of August. We're going to do live POS there.
Bobby and I are fun to watch more than once.
Pat will have 2 different sets. Bobby will not. I'm just going to come out and do a lot of... Did you guys know Matt Bomber was gay Superman?
That's new stuff.
Yeah, it's all new.
I did some Charlotte the Stingray stuff on stage the other day.
Did it work?
Yeah, because a girl was talking about doing Mary and Joseph jokes. Okay. And I was like, that's old news.
Yeah, we know.
You guys know about new Jesus?
And they're like, Chinese Jesus? Bobby's here? And you're like, no, that'll be in 2 weeks.
Charlotte.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
We could tag this, you and I. If I bring up Chinese Jesus and you bring up Charlotte, it's already in there for you.
Yeah, we both just dress up. You're just an Asian guy, and I'm a starfish, whatever it is, a stingray.
No.
All right, hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. We appreciate when you do those things. It is funny how quickly those numbers drop. But anyway, they'll pop back up. Why not? We'll get there. But yeah, like, subscribe over the Patreon. Tomorrow it's Thursday, so Thursday is Thursday Thoughts. If you're not watching that show, it's a fun fucking show we do. We do a deep dive on stuff that's only on the Patreon, so join that for $3 a month. Like and subscribe here as well. And then we'll be back on here Friday morning as well. Topless woman, outdoor sex, and a mystery dungeon. Inside the wild parties at Sir Ivan Wilzig's Hamptons Castle. 3 people wrote this article. I always like when they do that. It's all sources. If you plan on visiting Sir Ivan Wilzig's famed castle in the Hamptons, leave your bikini top at home.
Ugh.
The protocol for Sunday afternoons is topless sunbathing. The afternoon? I mean, that's fine, but like, I don't know. It feels like an evening thing. If that's not your thing, Ivan would say it's a topless swim party. Come back another time. So it's like, no, thanks. I'm going to keep my tits in. He's like, all right, we'll see you.
You know, rules are rules. You got to play by them.
Yep. And his brother told the Post, of course, Ivan is a libertine. Is that his libertine?
Seemed right. I'm not sure. What does that mean? For
years, Sir Ivan's 15,000 square foot mansion, built to look like a medieval style castle in Walter Mill, was notorious as a late night party pad where one female guest told the Post, the later you stayed, the more loose people would get. Hampton's lore includes tales of, as one former regular put it, skinny dipping and hot tub sex in a mystery dungeon. Dun, dun, dun. Why is it a mystery? It's just a dungeon. Once you know it's a dungeon, there's no more mystery, right? Like, maybe it's mysterious what's happening in it, but like I solved it. It's a dungeon.
Yeah, your Scooby-Doo can go home.
He's going, see you later, fucking stupid dog.
Yeah, he's like, you didn't take your top off, Scooby.
Yeah, and bring your pothead dumb friend with you. Stupid incest dogs, whatever. Ivan, a musician who sometimes performs at the bashes, I doubt he's a musician, is notorious for wearing Liberace-esque capes, or, according to the former regular, a see-through cat fan and a thong. Gay? Even if he's banging ladies? No.
No. I don't like any of this.
I don't like these shows. You show up and he's in a cape like Liberace and a thong, and he's like, take your top off. It's like, I'm going.
I'll catch you later. Yeah, I'm out.
Those fabled late night parties are mostly a thing of the past. They ended around 2017, Allen said. Now it's Sunday afternoon barbecues before people head back to the city. But a new lawsuit has dredged up the past. A woman named Kate Whiteman filed a civil lawsuit in March, claiming that in 2012, she was sexually assaulted, abused, raped, pinned, groped, harassed, battered, fondled. These are a few of my favorite things. Sexual assaulting, abuse, and a rape, pinning and groping in the basement. They pinned me down hard. No more song.
No,
You don't like show tunes?
No, I don't think we should reveal the mystery of the basement. Turns out there was more of a mystery going on there.
Yeah, they didn't say this part happened in the basement. By defendants Alon and Oron Alexander, identical twins who often partied at Ivan's castle. So these twins were doing it. That's weird. Like, brothers shouldn't do that kind of stuff together.
No, I never was a fan of, like, even friends shouldn't do that kind of stuff together.
Right, but like, was always a weird fantasy when like Al Bundy loved it too. But like when in that song Twins, like that with and twins or that fucking like that guy, whatever. What was his name? What's
Andrew WK?
Yeah, that moron.
And when it's time to party, we will party hard.
Yeah. He's like, and twin. He's so excited. It's like, why do you want to fuck sisters? Like, why would they want to do that? That's your sister. They don't want to both blow you.
No, and you want the girls to make out at some point. You don't need incest involved.
And if they want to make out, you should really get away from them.
Yeah, they're crazy.
That's not going to end well. Sisters that make out?
He blanked me.
N-word.
No, he blanked me. I don't know. You could fill in the blank. It could either be rape, sexual assault, grope, pinning, any of her favorite
I was supposed to be in the quote from before. Or you could be like the guy from yesterday who just points and goes, "You're retarded."
You're retarded. You want to kiss your sister?
Dude, those videos are all over YouTube, but they had to like bleep everything out. But the views are insane. I'm just watching that man read off his text. Oren was a prominent figure in the real estate firm official, and Alon is a private security firm executive. While Ivan is named in the suit for reputed negligence, he is in no way implicated in the assault or rape allegations. Whiteman claims that she was taken by the brothers against her will to the castle and attacked in a bedroom used by the twins. I mean, it is a castle.
That's what happens to women in castles. Yeah.
Yeah. Women have never done well. It's funny that women are always like, I want my Prince Charming and I want a castle. It's like, do you know what happens to women in castles? Nothing.
Doesn't end well. Yeah.
The best case scenario for you get put in a tower that has one window and you're way up high and you can't come down because the stairs are too much. And so you have to just spend your days up there. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah. No, I can't think of any good women in anytime it was a fun time for women from start to finish.
For like 2 minutes it is. They're like, you are going to be a princess. And they're like, great. They're like, and also my human fleshlight. They're like, wait, what? It's like, yep. We're all going to take turns on you, and you're going to be dead by 14. We can bang you when you're 12 because there's no rules in Castle Land.
I think if you go to buy a castle, people should investigate you pretty deeply.
Yeah. If you need a moat, that's because you're throwing bodies in. There's no dragons. You're throwing bodies in the moat. Let the body hit the moat. Let the body hit the moat. You're just throwing it out the window when you're done with it. That's literally what they're doing. They're like, finish with a lady and just pulling it off and then go and get another one from the village.
The only dragon in this castle is me dragging my nutsack across your forehead.
Sir Fucks a lot over here. It's going to fucking take you out.
Jesus. So she got raped?
Is that the way of you getting me back on track?
Yeah, so the rape was happening.
So what else is going?
She got raped. Where do we go?
Twins.
The Wonderboss twins
in a castle. It's a twin rape in a castle by those weird guys. Well, Ivan is named for the. Oh, he's not involved in that. Oren Alexander declined to comment for his story, and Alexander's brother lawyer did not return a call. On Monday, the lawyer Jim Farrar told the Post a statement. The suit was brought public after the Alexanders chose not to give in to a demand in the tens of millions of dollars. We are confident this matter will be resolved in favor, given an extensive collection of powerful evidence, including phone records, text messages, emails, and other documents whose content clearly debunks these claims. Oh, so they say she's just trying to get some cash, and she really just had a threesome with twins. The allegations have cast a dark shadow on what was known as a pleasure palace. Oh, really? First of all, Pleasure Palace, the second you're saying that, it's creepy and gross. It's
Dark
never
shadow.
good. Yeah. Any place where you go and you know that if they're trying to fuck you, you shouldn't go.
Also, any place with a mystery sex dungeon.
Yeah. In
Dark
lube.
shadow.
You shouldn't just have that much lube.
What are we doing? Wrestling?
No. There's some pinning down. And
Maybe
there's
that's
capes.
what happened. Yeah, that's my point. It sounds like a WWE party gone wrong. This is you if you're rich, Pat.
All right. Did you ever know, like, I when I was working at the casino at Foxwoods back in the day, we were like, it's kind of near the Rhode Island line, and there's a bunch of like Rhode Island bars in the summertime where like a lot of waitresses that were good looking work at these like beach restaurant bars, and they make tons of money because they basically just wear bikinis. They have to be good waitresses and bartenders too, but it's just a bunch of men going there with that thought. And a lot of times the men that go there will throw big parties later because they have money and shit, and invite all those waitresses and the waitresses' friends, whatever, and like. There may be a couple of guys there, but men aren't usually invited. Like, and I had a girlfriend that was a waitress that didn't work there, but she was friends with the other waitresses, and she was invited. She's very excited about going to a party, and she's like, "But they said boyfriends can't go." And I go, "Well, that should tell you right away. This is like they're all gonna try to fuck you." Like, no, they just said like they only have so much room. I go, "It's a mansion in Newport. They've got all the room. It's on boats. Go ahead. I don't want to go to this. I don't want to fight people." But when you come back later, like covered in goo and like have a new hole, don't blame me. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but like you're going to a fuck party. This isn't a regular. It's not just gonna be fun. Any girl that gets invited on a boat, the guy wants to fuck her on the boat. And then I did learn that she's like, well, that happened to me a couple of years ago, and I did fuck the guy on the boat. I said, oh, okay, this is a fun relationship. But anyway, she's like, well, it was a big boat. I guess.
I'll leave now.
Yeah, I guess I'll leave now. Lube in hand. I'll go to boats.com and see if I can get a new boat. The allegations have caused dark shadow. The whole point is for it to feel sexy, glamorous, fun, risque. Also, when you use the word risque, that just means rape. You know what I mean? Risque is rape.
Oh, yeah. They just can't say that anymore.
The whole point is for that to be all sexy and stuff. If you were there with your wife or your girlfriend on a Saturday night, you might find a place to make out. Who's bringing their wife to make out at a castle? You're married like 12 years, you got 3 kids. You want to go make out at a castle? She's like, I want a divorce.
What do you mean?
I hate this.
Yay, Liberace?
Yeah, we have Little League tomorrow. I can't hang out with that guy's candelabra up my ass.
Oh, God.
You might find a place to make out, said Alan of the home he and his brother built. Alan sold his share of the place to Ivan in 2004. A couple feels like they are in the Garden of Eden when they're there. Why would you want to be in the Garden of Eden? By the way, in the picture they put up is a bunch of women dressed like Native Americans, which is also, I don't think, allowed. But a source told the Post to the parties, as a man, you have to have a girl with you. You get to the house, everyone had to take your clothes off and put the sarong thing on that Ivan has. You go to the pool, then he says it's time to go inside, and then you get naked and you put your stuff in lockers, and Ivan will be like, chop, chop. Everybody has to take their sarongs off. Chop, chop. Fucking gay. You're making sex gay? Take off your pants. Chop, chop. Chip, chop, chip. Why are we taking off our pants? What is all that stuff in the locker? Dude, I would never go there. I'd be like, fuck this. I'll be in the car.
We should burn this estate to the ground. Like,
yeah, Kevin, I did say
salt
yes,
the earth.
a new hole. Yeah, did you ever read the comic books Preacher?
No.
Okay, so Garth Ennis does those very graphic novel. Like, they tried to turn it into TV shows, they couldn't because it was so dark and so crazy. But there was this character who was like God, God is. I'm not gonna get the whole premise, but God left heaven. He took off. He said, "Fuck this," and he was hiding on Earth. And all the angels were trying to find him. The high one of the basically the Pope, higher than the Pope. There's just like this Illuminati group that's in charge of that. They're trying to find him as well because they have evil doings and stuff, dude. And they display them as it's the most deviant sexual thing of all times, right? And this guy, he just constantly would be fucking anything and everyone. And God did that too. But they would like be like this. They'd have like parties where it's just like they'd walk out and in a coat, you'd open up. Instead of like where it'd be like I'm selling you cigars, it'd be 1,000 dildos and like the crazy like lubes. And you're like, what the fuck is this thing? And like to me, I was like, this is the most disgusting thing ever. In real life, there's a guy in fucking the Hamptons with a castle who's doing
the
that.
same thing. Jesus
Fuck
Christ.
castle. What? Why is that legal? I understand they're of age and it's consent, but it's alcohol. It's just leading to some kind of assault. With that many people around, everyone being naked, some guys, like the guy's like, you better bring your own girl. What does that mean? You better. I don't understand. You're probably gonna be like, well, then you're just alone. No, it just means that if you don't bring your own girl, then you're just trying to grab other people's women.
Yeah, or it's just not good.
No, those twins didn't have a lady. They grabbed one and threw her in the castle.
I like to think
Ivan did not return calls for this story, by the way. Yeah, if I was Ivan, I wouldn't return calls either for this story.
No, he was dying of AIDS.
Everyone has AIDS. AIDS. Yeah, you're not hearing about condoms at all.
I like to think the twins used that one girl to sneak into the party like you used to do with like football tickets back in the day, where you'd go in with, then you would hand the ticket to your friend, like you'd have 3. But because they look the same, they're like, no, I brought her. What are you talking about?
That'd be great. You get her drunk, you only have one in there, and then the both start banging her, and she's like, I'm seeing doubles. Like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, baby. Too much alcohol.
But Alan said of such memories, a lot is hype. People will sensationalize. You come over and 2 girls are tan and topless, and if someone wants to be an idiot about it, they say everyone is running around naked. I once read that Ivan had the lockers, and every guest had to put their clothes in the lockers and go nude and wear a sarong. Do the lockers exist? Yes. Are they big enough for your clothes? No. They are for cell phones and valuables. My brother did not want to hear a word about somebody having a handbag or cell phone missing when there were 30 people there. This is a complete buzzkill. We're trying to get our rape on and someone lost their phone. You know how bad it is when some lady, we're just trying to tie down this woman and take away her innocence and then hide her body afterwards. And we got to find this jack-off's keys? Fuck this.
Yeah. What do you mean the car we stuffed the body in the trunk of nobody can find the keys for?
Yeah, what do you mean clothes can't fit in a locker? Just fold them.
You could fold clothes smaller than a cell phone. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And first of all, I'm not putting myself... If you tell me to put my cell phone away so that doesn't inconvenience you, I know I need my cell phone to call for help.
Yeah, I'm going to have a smartwatch on at a minimum.
Yeah, well, the dumb watch is there. There's no smartwatch at that place. Mm-hmm. The source also told the Post that Ivan has a dungeon next to his garage, and he had a bed with handcuffs. It looks like an S&M dungeon. In a 2011 interview with the Post, Ivan said the dungeon was inspired by my decorators Caligula and the Marquis de Sade, and decorated with gold leaf, granite, and marble. The 2 most famous fuckboys of all times are the designers to his place. He added that the space had 3 purposes. The dungeon, for historical accuracy that makes the castle a castle. The changing area, and a cabana for the pool. And it's an 8-car garage. Come on. It's a castle for castle's sake. Put our cars in there sometimes. And sometimes we get changed in there. Yeah, sometimes we use that bed with handcuffs, but that's for changing. In case your baby, it's like, you're like at Chili's when you go into the bathroom and they got the changing table that folds off the wall. That kid can fly right off. If you had handcuffs on that bitch, that kid's not going anywhere. That's what it's for, changing.
Why does your house have a changing room?
Well, it's not their house. It's the party castle, Bobby, and everyone has to get changed. Remember, you got to change your clothes and you got to come out in your sarong. Then you're feeling so right.
I'm just trying to figure out exactly at what point into this going over to Ivan's mansion I'd be out. I don't think
The
I'm
second
making
they
it
said
far.
it's topless Sundays.
Nah, I'm still in for that. When they're like, you got to bring a girl, I'd be like, oh, this reminds me of a frat party.
But I guess I'd need to see the roster.
Good point.
Because it's all lunch ladies. I'm not going in there for topless Sundays.
No, but
unless they mean we know we don't wear shirts because we're eating so much ice cream, we don't want to get our shirts messy. I'll have that kind of topless Sunday.
You know how many of those lunch ladies would be lactose intolerant, and you would just smell like fucking lactose farts?
Yeah, and then lactose intolerant. They don't
and
like
then
the
fucking
lactose anymore.
Yvonne's all turned on because it smells like what he likes fucking now.
Just got my sarong on, got my thong on, got my cape. What's worse? What would you rather do? Be completely naked in front of strangers or wear a cape?
Probably I'd rather be naked, to be honest.
Me too. I don't want to wear a cape.
I don't want to be either, but a cape's bad.
Cape is gay. You can't wear a cape and then rape. You can't have a rape cape.
It's super gay.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. It's me, Matt Bomber. I'm super gay. He should go there and save the castle people. By fucking everyone himself.
Yeah. I'm here to save the day.
Because I'm gay. Here's my Care Bear stare. Like, wait a minute, that's not you.
Nope, wrong hero. Wrong hero.
Oh no. As for it being a sex dungeon, Alan said it's a strict rule that nobody ever screws in the room. First of all, they fuck there when he says screws like that. Like no regular guy says screws anymore. They're screwing. He said that Ivan once told him, "The last thing I want to hear is that I have a sex dungeon. You better not read the paper then, buddy, because you got a sex dungeon." Maybe don't have a dungeon. Maybe never call it a dungeon. Call it the basement. Call it a lair. A lair is more fun.
Or don't make it the
lair. Welcome to my dungeon.
Don't make it the focal point of your castle. When you were describing how it had to be a castle, don't be like, there's a sex dungeon. You have to have one of those.
Yeah. We have a sex dungeon, and then we have a regular dungeon.
The sex dungeon's upstairs.
Wait, you're having sex in the wrong dungeon. Yeah, it's like, get out of there. Do they have a dragon? On one past party attendee recalled an event in 2012 where people were definitely trying to sneak around the house to find the famed sex room, but security was around to make sure you didn't enter those rooms. So there are sex rooms. You just can't find them. Built for the entertaining, the castle features a 25 by 25 foot mirrored disco, 8 bedrooms, a game room, and a nightclub-worthy sound system. Outside stands a statue that Ivan once described to the Post as half nude and half dragon. It was inspired by his close friend, Mina Aksuka. Ivan does not decorate with golf umbrellas. He decorates with bronze cauldrons that look like flaming pots of oil. Or lube. Alan told the Post, "My old suite there had been more than a dozen windows back in the early 2000s. I get up in the middle of the night, and there was always someone naked in the pool. But not in a bad way. Look, we don't sit at home and knit. We fucking sit at home and jerk off out our windows as we watch a lady swim. Like gentlemen." All right. A regular from back in the day recalled that the castle was a place for sex. Everyone knew that. The brothers are very open about their lifestyles. I've been there many times. I have never had sex there and was never coerced to do so. The brothers are very good guys. Ivan has wonderful tacky taste, the regular added. It's an open-air place for free love and positive vibes. You know who would say all that? A guy who fucks there and probably drugs people's drinks and needs someone to have his back. So therefore he's like, those are great guys. They always let me hang out and have fun. There's no sex there. Yeah, not ones you want to talk about because you're unconsensual Jones. Yeah, I don't want to hear from a guy who won't use his name who hangs out in the fuck dungeon. The past party attendees described the castle as more like a Disney-like thing. The year I went there was with carousel rides. There was a jungle theme based on Ivan's techno song, La La Land. I like that you have to listen to his music. I'd rather get raped than listen to Ivan's techno music. Everyone was dressed up. Ivan was walking around greeting guests in a sparkly outfit and a cape. Stop, Jesus Christ. Can you not greet me, please? I would like to not be greeted, if you don't mind. Thanks. He always wears a cape because his alter ego is Peace Man. Peace.
No. Stop. You're mixing too many messages here, Ivan. You can either choose techno, you can be Peace Man, or you can be the reincarnation of Liberace. You can't be all three.
He is. He's all three. He's an enigma wrapped in a riddle covered in a conundrum.
Is that what we call them now? Enigmas?
Yep. Please.
You're acting like a fucking enigma right now. So take that dick out of your mouth.
What's his mother like? He's a real enigma.
Ooh.
That's the worst kind of ma. The food situation was odd. Just so much pastrami, like a giant tray after giant tray. There must have been $50,000 worth of sliced meat. Why is that? You can't be in a cape with a sarong and eat just pastrami. That is the weirdest combination. Dude, you're already starting to get bloated from eating that kind of food. And if you're sweating in the sun by eating pastrami, you're wearing a sarong and got lube, dude, everyone smells like ham and a foot. No, thank you. The Wilsnick brothers could certainly afford it. They came into fortune via their father, Siggy. He survived the Holocaust, came to America penniless, and made millions in oil and banking. Dude, if you're surviving the Holocaust and you're sends me to a sex dungeon, like, you just like, I want to die. I want to die. They don't appreciate anything. I was in a real dungeon, and they're making a sex dungeon.
Was that the twins' dad, though? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. No. So, not the rape twin. I'm sorry, the brothers, not the twins. The brothers that own it.
Because it might illustrate some people's point if the guy who escaped the Holocaust came to the United States and then his son just became two notorious rapists. There might have been somebody who had some points about a group of people that may have been illustrated by that.
Right. I don't think, that wasn't that one. Following his death in 2003, Allen engineered a sale of the family's trust company bank in New Jersey of $765 million. So, yeah, they're not hurting for cash. They got lube for days. Ivan and Allen worked for the bank that they were building their castle on a 5-acre plot, land purchased for less than $1 million in 1995. But after the castle's completion in 1997, its reputation, which Allen says was unfounded, freaked out everyone at the bank. And my brother and I got locked out of the office. One insider told the Post on Tuesday that there are no plans for any more botchinals. I guess the word is. I don't know. I guess a party. Ivan is unhappy and nervous about the lawsuit that names his castle as the scene of the rape. The insider said, adding, there has been zero chatter that Ivan was involved. Who is the piece of shit in the story? Is it the brothers who own the castle who were like, hey, we've changed our ways. I know it used to be a fuck place, but now we just have afternoon barbecue with some tits. I mean, we do get older. We do find what we like. I understand you settle down a little bit, but you did have a reputation as a sex guy. It's kind of like Madonna. You know what I mean? Madonna still feels like she needs to be sexy. She can't really have shows as late anymore. People still want to see her sexy, but when they do, they're like, I don't even know if I can handle this. It's kind of gross.
We didn't want that.
And then you really think about what she was back in the day. You're like, this castle was never really that great anyway. What's up, Ricky Smith? So it's not really a good time. Is it the twins for grabbing a lady and bringing her into a dungeon and doing awful things to her, allegedly? Is it that lady who went there and allegedly got all those things done to her, but maybe not had them done to her and just wanted to sue rich people by saying, I can fucking say all this shit, because who are they going to believe? You have to believe ladies. That's the rule. Is it people who make capes still? Why are we still making capes? Why is that a thing? Why is there cape makers? Why is there cape salesmen? Why can you buy capes? How many capes does this guy have? Why do you need a cape and a thong? Why is that always the outfit for things doing wrong? Like, combining, even if you're making a silly movie and you want to make the guy weird and queer, what do? Cape and a thong. And you're like, yep, now you're scared. Why is that an outfit? Who's making that thing? It's fucking creepy. Is it the guy who builds castles still? Stop building castles. Stop allowing castles. Anyone who's on the board of that state where they has to look and make sure that people are on the up and up, any inspector, whatever, should right away go, no, it's a castle. We don't need castles. That's wrong. Castles are for fucking and pillaging and all that. We don't need any of that shit there. Who's the piece of shit in this story, Bobby?
It's the townspeople of whatever town this.
This is the Hamptons.
The Hamptons. It's the Hamptons. They should have, much like in the movie or the book Frankenstein, where they gather up to kill Dr. Frankenstein's monster. They should have driven Yvonne out of town in a similar fashion with pitchforks and fire. A guy named Yvonne shouldn't own a castle. If you see a castle being built in your neighborhood, it is your civic duty, you and your people. That's what the social contract Rousseau talks about all the time. That's what it refers to. The minute somebody starts building a castle, you and the townspeople drive them out of town. So for me, it's the entire Hamptons. Get rid of this weirdo. Now, you might argue there are a lot of other weirdos in the Hamptons, but I would say then we've fallen as a society, and it's time for God to cause a flood and for us to just start over.
I don't think it's the townspeople because a lot of weird shit happens in the Hamptons. A lot of celebrities do weird shit. It's kind of where the Hamptons were the original P. Diddy's house. You know what I mean? Like, it was in a larger area where you could just go and hide and do your shit. And I guess you need that sometimes. And no one ever thinks of the Hamptons with New York.
Yes, sir. No, I was agreeing with you. Like, the Hamptons were the original creepy place where the rich people from New York went to do weird, creepy shit. I couldn't.
And everybody's kind of let it go because they were rich and like whatever, you could pay people off. I know a lot of girls that they would be like waitresses or like club waitresses at like, you know, nice nightclubs at a casino, and they'll be paid tons of money to go out to the Hamptons for a weekend to just serve people. And basically they were wearing like, they're just topless and thongs, and it was like nothing happened to them, but it's just the fact, I mean, the money was so good you let it happen and they would do it, but it's just like you're putting yourself in danger. A guy would go with them like security, but you know that guy's being paid off to turn his back. You don't know what the fuck's happening. The fact that you can just do that because they have money and just hire women to be topless. I mean, if they're bartenders, does their bartending license work in the Hamptons if they're from Connecticut? I don't even know. It's like not in the up and up. It's not the guys at the castle having castle sex parties. Listen, if you're going to buy a castle, that is who you are. That's what you're going to do. If you just buy a castle and all you do is just fucking watch TV and play video games in it, you really are wasting the castle. Now, you could turn into a cool Halloween themed thing or something like that, but that's also a pain in the ass. It doesn't work all year long. So if you're going to have it anyway, you know that I'm guessing the guys that own castles don't have great personalities. You know what I mean? They try their best, but ladies don't love them. But ladies do love a castle. They love a boat. They love a convertible. They love that kind of helicopter, all that kind of shit. So if you got a fucking castle, that can be cool. And these women that are going there, like, we're on board. It's the friend of the brothers. The friend who was quoted and was just like, there's nothing that ever happens here. It's just like we have barbecue. There's a lot of meat stuff. Fuck that. I would have believed all the shit everyone was saying if there wasn't for world's worst liar. Oh, yeah, I just go there on Sundays for the pastrami. You live in fucking New York. There's a million delis. You're not going to a castle in the Hamptons for pastrami, you asshole. That's also not where you're going.
You know how bad traffic's going to be on a Sunday? To just go there just for pastrami? Suck a dick.
Well, he is.
That's the point.
That's part of the thing. And then you're going back and just on Sunday afternoons. Listen, just say what it is, dude. You're a gimp. You're a weird thing that sits in the corner. They chain you up and squeal like a pig while other people fuck. Whatever you are, you're the thing. He's the Jimmy Hart. We always bring that up. He's the Jimmy Hart to the Hulk Hogan. He's the guy who instead of carrying the weed for him, he's the one that takes the rap for it. So he's ready now. He's getting himself ready to say it's not them, it's not them. But if something comes down, it's like me. I pretended to be twins. It was me. Like, when you were two
awesome.
people. Like, yeah, you know, I have to be that. So yeah, it's that guy. It's anyone that aids and beds rich people. It's anyone that says, I got you, I'll be your fall guy, because those people need to fall. You have your sex house, then you have some sex crimes, and then you need to go to jail. And it's also tied with Law and Order, because they will definitely do a show from the Sex Castle now. This is out there.
Well, I'm glad you brought up TV shows, because there was a great USA show called Royal Pains about two brothers who moved to the Hamptons to start their own concierge medicine business, and they live in a castle, but there's no weird sex. Well, no matter how many seasons you watch, Pat, there's no weird sex in the castle. Even if you're sitting there on season 6 going, where's the weird fucking sex already? And
yeah, there was a hot chick in that one, right?
Yeah, 2. There were 2 hot chicks.
USA always had that. They always had a couple of handsome fellas, and there was always just, you'd see the commercial while you're watching other shit, and then there'd be a smoking hot chick. There was a show back in the day called Silk Stockings that was on there, and it was just like it was supposed to be like detective shit, but dude, it was softcore porn, and they kind of solved the crime. It was on like during the day. It was like wild back then. Like USA didn't give a fuck. It was either Westminster Dog Show, WWE Raw, or fucking things you could jerk off to without anyone being naked for 100, Alex. That was it. That was USA.
Sorry, I had to just make a note of a show I want to watch later. We're good.
Yeah, silk stockings. You won't like it.
Clownface may have won our Husey Award today. With why not just call it the Humptons?
The Humpton dance is the chance to do the hump. It could be there. It ties.
Throwing it out there. Yeah. We've got time though.
The Humpton.
Now,
yeah, and even Kevin chimed in saying that is brilliant. The Humptons is great.
Here's your chance. Do your dance at the Humptons. Would you rather hear something gay or something?
We just did so much gay.
Yeah, but the other one might be worse than gay.
What's worse than gay? AIDS?
Well, gay with a age attached.
Oh, go with gay.
That's what I was trying to get away from. Yeah,
I got you.
My dad was gay, but married to my mom for 64 years. As she died, I overheard something I can't forget. My father was gay. He was born in 1918. In my 20s, he started telling me stories about his early life. He was out in the 1930s at a time when it wasn't common. He had dreams that most would not believe he dared to dream. The problem with my dad telling me all of this was that he was still married to my mother. In 1939, at a party in the Hollywood Hills with gay filmmakers and musicians, he was arrested. Police officers handcuffed the men, herded them into a van, and took them to jail. The following morning, he appeared before a judge for sentencing, but because the arresting officer couldn't swear that he saw him touching his dance partner, he was released. Then he was caught up in an illegal sting operation in Pasadena that targeted gay men. They were extorted by the police for cash mavens in return for conditional release. His dreams of being a schoolteacher and living with his boyfriend were destroyed. As World War II loomed, he attempted to enlist in the U.S. Navy, but was rejected when his record revealed that he was gay. The Army eventually accepted him, perhaps because war was imminent and able-bodied men, even gay ones, were needed. Before my father shipped out for war, he attended a USO dance on the San Francisco Peninsula. When he and a fellow soldier arrived, his buddy yelled over the loud music, "Hey, Hall, let's get out of here." There aren't any girls to dance with. My mother, still in high school, was dancing with the company cook at the time. She looked up and saw what she described as a handsome soldier with big blue eyes and white teeth and said, "I'll dance with you." My parents would retell this origin story for the rest of their lives. Granted a furlough in September of 1942, Dad sent a telegram to my mom that read, "Arrive in Frisco tomorrow. Marry me, dearest." To my grandmother's horror, she accepted his proposal. She was only 18. When the war ended, 4 babies followed. I was the second born. By the time I was 6, I was aware of how friendly my father was with my mother's friends. The dinner parties they hosted in the 1950s and 60s were glamorous affairs. Women vied to dance with my father and told my mother that his smooth moves and good manners made him unlike the other men they knew. During some of those parties, I snuck down the hallway late at night and saw that women were not my mother sitting on my father's lap. I was infuriated. When I reached my early 20s, I found myself juggling partners. I was not proud of this. One day, on a hike in the hills above the family home, I confronted my father about what I assumed were his affairs. If he had dabbled with infidelity, maybe I wasn't such a bad person after all. When we reached the top of the hill, I came right out and asked him if he'd ever been unfaithful to Mom. His face flushed. After a pause, he told the truth. It wasn't what I was expecting. "Honey, I'm gay."
I suck dick, son.
Pretty much. "Honey, I'm gay," he said, adding, "I've always been gay."
Oh, love it.
I was shocked. Though I knew he wasn't a stereotypical dad in the neighborhood where I grew up, he selected my siblings and my clothes. He cut and styled our hair, one time giving me what he called a, quote, Mia Farrow, end quote. I didn't even know who Mia was, and I did not appreciate the fact that he lopped off my ponytail. He did a better job styling my mother's hair. He taught me how to crochet, needlepoint, and make paper chains out of his cigarette packs. He created beautiful table centerpieces and whipped up fancy desserts for dinner parties. One of his fancy frozen desserts included sliced grapes that appeared to be floating in ice cream, which impressed us kids. He took us to operas, musicals, plays, and museums in San Francisco. He was a cool dad. There were no guns, roughhousing, hunting, or violent football games for our family. His stories poured out of him once he came out to me. When I asked him if my mother knew, he said she discovered he was gay in the 1950s after finding revealing photos of him with other men. I was 6 at the time. She called him at work.
In the 50s, there's pictures. That means they had the pose for it. There's like a fucking guy with the smoke and shit, like just holding cocks. Like
Okay, nobody moved for 4 hours. We need to let this set.
Just be gay this whole time.
Revealing photo. I was 6 at the time. She called him at work, hysterical. He sped home thinking one of us kids had been hit by a car. When he found out what had happened, he offered to leave so she would never have to see him again. He promised to support her and us for the rest of his life. He packed up his things that night after my siblings and I were asleep. As he backed out of the driveway, Mom ran toward him, pleading with him to stay and telling him that she still loved him. So he stayed. He stayed forever. For years after he shared these stories with me, I felt sorry for my parents. I doubted them. They had the marriage they wanted, though neither of them ever let on to me that they were unhappy. Decades later, I asked my mother if she wished they had split up when she found out he was gay. Oh, no, Lori, she said, drawing out the word no. I love your father. The years passed. As far as I could tell, they didn't have an open marriage, but my mother supported my father when he created the first LGBT section in the local library and volunteered as an AIDS buddy for the Shanty Project in the 1990s. One night before my mother died in 2006, she lay unconscious in bed while my father hosted relatives in the kitchen. I sat at my mother's bedside, wondering if he might let her final moment slip away without saying goodbye. I wondered if I'd been wrong all along about the relationship being a love and run. I wasn't wrong. At one point, I left her room, and to my surprise, I watched as my father lumbered down the hall.
Is this an article or one of those sexy lady novels? Like, what are you reading?
Dude, who wrote this article? That's going to be...
Why is this news?
At one point, I left her room, and to my surprise, I watched my father lumber down the dark hallway toward her room. He was 88. I wondered if he had been waiting for me to leave. I stood at her bedroom door like an insecure child, hoping to hear that she had been happy with the life she had chosen. Rusty, he said in a sing-song voice, calling her by the nickname she went by. I'm so glad you said yes. My mom...
Because of the trombone she played?
That's what I thought when I read this too. To me, that's why. Oh God,
Rusty. Oh God, damn it!
I'm so glad you said yes. Mom, who had been unconscious for 24 hours, responded, "I'd do it all over again." Who's the piece of shit in the story?
Let's dance.
Who's the piece of shit, Pat? Is it the gay man who ended up being the best dad ever? Like, all kidding aside, he stuck around. He raised those kids well.
Because he had to be in hiding.
Is it the mom who was like, yeah, I know you're not sexually attracted to me, but I'd rather have this than nothing? Is it the guy who claimed to be gay but somehow had 4 kids? Apparently your dick ain't gay, sir. Or is it the author of this story? Why are you putting your dad's business out there, bitch? Let that gay closeted man die in peace.
Yeah, Kevin says it best. He's like, I'm not going to hate on that guy. He's a decent guy. And he is. And Bobby, it makes perfect sense. It's not the wife at all because, listen, she found her best friend. Like, it's a guy that shared a lot of interests, and she got to live with this guy and raise their kids together. That's not a bad thing. You know, he made her happy. Maybe he wasn't attracted that way, but he stayed there. Yeah, I mean, maybe he did cheat and stuff like that, but if she understood who he was, then I guess more power to him. He wasn't ruining how many people cheat and ruin a marriage. He wasn't ruining the marriage. He was actually making it stronger. It's not him. There's no way he could come out with all that stuff going on, you know, like military, everything in his life. He was told everything he ever did that he could not be who he was, but he lived as much of a gay life as you possibly could and all that. It's not the kids. It's not all the women who wanted to dance with him. They all do. They weren't thinking they want to bang this guy. They're like, he's a very good dance instructor. We want to learn how to do these moves, and it's fun. It's whoever his AIDS buddy was.
Yeah.
Don't have an AIDS buddy. First of all, what the fuck is that? You can't just say that and gloss over. What the hell's an AIDS buddy? Why do you have a buddy for AIDS? I mean, I guess how you get AIDS that way. Does that mean that you're like, is that kind of like a sponsor? Like if you have AIDS, this person kind of like checks in on you. He's your AIDS buddy. Don't you think you come up with a better name than AIDS buddy that kind of hides the fact that you have AIDS?
I don't know what the AIDS buddy program was, but it doesn't seem like a win-win situation for anybody.
Why don't you call it the hive? You do HIV and a little e, so at least you can be like, oh, it's like beekeeping or something. You call it AIDS buddy, AIDS buddy. Wherever you go, you've got full blown AIDS buddy.
That's
AIDS
right, yeah.
buddy.
That's what I was thinking. I think AIDS buddy is just you go up to someone and you're like, hey, you got AIDS, buddy.
No, Kevin, there's still a piece of shit in the story. It's AIDS buddies. What the fuck is that? Whoever named AIDS buddies was not a buddy to AIDS. You gotta fucking keep it up. You gotta fucking give it a better name. You gotta hide it. By the way, if this guy was being gay in the 50s and they lived that long of a life and all that, when AIDS was kicking around, this guy was like 50 or something. So he was like an old gay queen helping out.
He probably laid the groundwork for it.
He laid a lot of things.
Yeah.
Gay.
There's another piece of shit we're missing. The author of this story was the second of 4 kids. The other 3 kids are pieces of shit. Hey, Lucy, take down your article about dad being an enigma.
Why is our chat getting all sensitive? Clownface is like, I think you're a piece of shit if you have to live a lie.
I do see that.
Kevin's
point,
like, he's a wonderful man. There's nobody. What happened to you guys? What happened to the chat we knew that wasn't so gay? Do you guys have capes and thongs on right now? What the fuck's happening?
Are you somebody's dad? They're writing an article.
Yeah, are you guys number 1 and
dead?
number 3?
I skipped the end of the article where she's like,
there was more?
Oh yeah. The point
so
she was trying to make though is that like when he died, she realized that we live by these weird definitions of what a marriage should be. And that like she really understood. So she waited for her dad to die to write this article about meet my dad, the fag. Like it's really just trash talking him once he's gone. The fags
in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Yeah, 1,
he
3,
wouldn't see
and 4.
my mom, but he once dated a coon. And I don't know when. He likes to fuck men. He likes to have sex with men.
1 through 4 should have just jumped to. I mean, like, take the fucking article down. That's my pieces of shit. Like, if my brother and sister wrote an article about my dad being gay, it'd be a real problem.
I'd be like, whoa, then you guys just ruined the musical I'm writing about Dad.
That he choreographed, apparently.
Yeah, of course. Let's dance. Why are all these ladies sitting on his lap? Because that's how he does their nails.
My favorite part, though, was Frisco tomorrow. Let's get married. Like, he was so repulsed by getting married that he was like, yeah, be there. Let's do it.
Well, I think he also thought if we go to Frisco and get married and then we have a honeymoon, I can get turned on because there's so much gay around me that I can just think about that gay, that sweet gay.
I had this crazy story happen to me in San Francisco once, Pat.
Don't know.
It was raining hard in Frisco. I needed one more fare to make my day. A lady up ahead waved the flag me down. That's Harry Chapin. Pat left. He quit the Harry Chapin show. Harry Chapin.
I can't do it. We were doing so well.
All
right.
I don't want to be.
I got one.
But you did Cats in the Cradle, and then now my brain's in Chapin mode.
Yeah, I know. I knew when I did it. I was trying to relate to you, but I knew I fucked up.
Then you should have just talked about a gay dad. That would have really related to me.
All right. Do you want a story about a legend being wronged, or about a waitress getting fired?
Waitress getting fired.
Okay. So I guess you'll have to cover Joey Chestnut another time. But anyway.
Then do you want to talk about Joey Chestnut?
No, I'm kidding. I don't give a fuck. If you can look it up, Joey Chestnut's not going to be. There was a problem with sponsorships. The wrong hot dogs involved, so you can't fucking be in it. Grow up. That's why he was nice to you there, everybody. Grow up. Waitress fired for posting viral video of man dining with a blow-up doll. No words. The diner was a real doll. Wow. A North Carolina waitress claimed that she was fired for posting a now viral TikTok video of a customer eating dinner in the company of an inflatable sex doll. Okay, I'm not supposed to be making TikToks at the work, but this calls for it. Server Tara Bjork prefaced the viral video she posted on May 27th from her job at Restauratory and Hardware Rooftop Restaurant. What the fucking?
I think that's a Billy Joel line. Can you get whatever you want at your rooftop
Restauratory and Hardware Rooftop Restaurant. Inflatable doll. Looking real tight. I work at a nice restaurant in Charlotte, and I need you guys to see what just came in the door. She flipped the camera to zoom in on a male diner seated across the room from an inflatable female doll propped up on a seat across from him. The doll had yellow blonde hair and appeared to be wearing a black sleeveless dress, and it even had hand-fed grapes by her human date, according to the servers. The dude was fucking tossing grapes into the dumb thing's mouth. The camera had turned back to Bjork, who brought her fingers to her forehead and raised her eyebrows in a gesture of exasperation while captioning it, "No words." The footage soon racked up over 1 million views, as well as a comment from someone claiming to be the man she filmed, explaining that the strange date was payback for losing a fantasy football bet, which makes perfect sense. It actually makes perfect sense to me. I've heard of people doing shit like that. You got to go. You got to have a whole fucking date. You got to record it or something. Bjork later posted a follow-up video saying that she was fired because of the video. I knew one of two things was going to happen. It would get no views and I would be fine, or it would blow up and I would get fired. Bjork added that she was ready for new opportunities, so it wasn't too much of a shock, thank goodness. When I saw him trying to seat her, which was mortifying, she called into a radio station and said, at one point, the diner was feeding his date grapes, Bjork claimed. The man in the video, however, quickly posted his own video of the gaffe, which included a series of photos of himself seated across from the cumbersome companion. He also posted a comment on Bjork's video, which claimed that he was dining with the doll because he lost a fantasy football bet. So who's the piece of shit in the story? So the waitress for thinking that she was getting this awesome video and calling this guy out and haha, look at this fucking idiot and I don't care about my job, fuck my life, whatever, I want views, baby. This is the restaurant for like firing her. Like, I could see them firing her. I know they said no TikTok at work. If the guy complained, if he was like, listen, I'm at your restaurant, I don't need to be mocked and shamed. I came out on a date with my doll. I know it's weird, but fuck you. I'm a paying customer. Leave me alone. But then it wasn't even the case. So like the restaurant didn't get that call. They just fired. They just wanted that bitch gone. And I think if someone else did it, they'd probably be in the commercial for their next restaurant thing. It's like, you can bring anyone here. If you don't, or like you can even do a joke. It's like, if you don't have a jacket, we'll provide one. If you don't have a date, we'll provide one. And they'll blow up the whole thing. It's like, you can feed it grapes. You can do what you want. It doesn't get caught in there. It's fine. And there's no talking, which is the best thing all men want from a date. No talking. Is it the guy for like ruining the surprise? I would have written, if that was me, and I had that video, and she wasn't paying attention to that, she got more views than he did, I would have written underneath, this is fucked up. This is my life. How dare you? How dare you attack me in this time? This is how I express myself. That is actually a doll made exactly like my dead wife. And we go out and we eat and we have fun. It's the only way. I would have made her feel like such shit with that whole thing and then left it there forever and fucked with her. Or is it the friend on the fantasy football team who's like, if I win, you got to take a blow-up doll to the fancy restaurant and eat grapes with it. What do you want if you win? And the guy's like, I don't know, wings, man? Why are you a weird bettor? Why can't we just bet wings or cash? Why do I have to go on a date with a fucking blow-up doll at a fancy hardware store? Who's the piece of shit?
It's not her. She did absolutely nothing wrong. If the story she thought was true, initially, a guy came in to eat with a blow-up doll, that human being should be bullied into not taking the sex doll into public anymore.
Fair.
Like that's a social thing. If he brought it in truly for fantasy football, which it's weird that he had to feed it grapes if it was just for some bet that nobody else there was watching to pay off. Then she also did her part of humiliating this guy, which is what the whole bet was based on anyway. For me, the piece of shit in the story is the fantasy football playing incel. What the fuck are you doing? You know what would happen if we made a bet and you proposed that I would have to bring a sex doll to a restaurant? We probably wouldn't talk again, Pat. I don't need people like that in my life. Also, why do you care so much about fantasy football? You should have gone and played real football back in the day, and then you wouldn't care so much about fucking being the computer nerd version of it. I'm guessing this loser didn't even have to go buy a sex doll. I think he just brought his from home. And honestly, all kidding aside, if you had wrote that comment and like, this is my dead wife's replica, I would have been like, good, you should be mocked for doing that. That's not a healthy response. Probably join her.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, that's not. Let's not pretend like this girl was wrong for mocking a guy for bringing his sex doll into public. Did you see Angel Hernandez? It just came out today. One of the reasons why he retired was all of the internet bullying. He was tired of receiving it. It's like bullying sometimes is effective. It sometimes does serve the result we as a society need, whether it's Angel Hernandez in baseball or no more weirdos with sex dolls at restaurants.
I get what you're saying, but my piece of shit is the people that even allowed this to happen. It's that I don't mean fantasy football. Piece of shit's the restaurant. The second that motherfucker walks up and says, I've got, I've got reservations for 2. Oh, is the other person meeting you here? And they're like, no. And then they go, even if he said it's a bad thing, I have to make a video. I swear to you, I'm not wasting your time. You can give me a table for 1 if you don't have a second chair. Even if he was really cool about it, I'll tip you extra. I don't give a fuck. I gotta do this thing. And I'm gonna eat. I have to eat a whole fucking meal. It's a whole fucking thing. I promise you, I'll spend money. I'd be like, no thanks. We're a fucking restaurant. We're not a fucking game show. You're not bringing in your bulb doll. You're going to make my customers uncomfortable. We're a fancy little place in Charlotte. We're not doing this or whatever. And I would have shut that down and made a big deal about it. Go to fucking McDonald's. You want to fucking record your stupid shit. Why are we even letting you in the door? This is horse shit. I've got a waitress that needs to make money. Now she's not making any money. They didn't say if she was the waitress for them. I don't think she was. But I'd be pissed as fuck if I was told I was getting a 2-top and I got a 1-top where the guy's buying grapes for one thing, and you know he's not going to eat much because he's more there to joke around. He's not drinking. You might get a tip. You're not really working. It's a waste of your fucking time. You fucking go do your dumb shit. That's why they should have done that. If you're going to do it fun, do it fun. It's so dumb that he went alone. If we did that, Bobby, it's the bet, right? It's the bet of the fantasy football. There's 8 of us in a fantasy football league. We should have to go with a party of 16. And like everybody in the group has to bring a date, except that guy who lost and came in last has to have the sex doll next to him and he has to order for her while we're all laughing at him because he was the loser. And it's a fun. You could do that at a fucking Applebee's. It'd be fun. It'd be silly. That's a fun thing. By just making him go there and go to this restaurant, you're wasting the restaurant's time. It's not even fun. You're just like going off and do your own stupid thing. Where's the fun in that? If you're gonna be, like you're saying, the bully thing, be the bully. Be there at the table. Make the jokes. But you're not even doing that. You're just watching a video later. And you're such a loser. Your video didn't get the attention a waitress did. Oh, she's got a great TikTok game. The waitress at a Charlotte hardware store. Fuck you.
I couldn't agree with you more. And just to be clear, I have no issue with fantasy football. It's that when people feel the need to make it mean something by doing these major humiliation of, you know what I mean? Like, you can log on and have fun doing it, but when you need to make it something, like, you shouldn't have to mortgage your house if you don't win your fantasy league. I got kicked out of a fantasy football group because I didn't text the group chat every day. They were like, we need to hear from you more. And then I trash talked, and they did not like it when what I had to say. You know what I mean? Like, right. People take this shit way too seriously. Some people take it more seriously than the actual people playing football. We need to curb that. I do think bullying could create mass serendums, which is murderers backwards. But also, if you bully the people who are bullying the guy who's going to turn into the mass shooter, you solve that problem.
Wait, you can't say murderer?
Not in the chat.
Oh.
I don't think. Yeah. I think it like censors it. But the point I was making is like, you need society to be able to check you and go, that's weird. Just like if you have the weird dude at school who's getting picked on all the time. One of my favorite things was to pick on the people picking on the weird kid. You make the weird kid part of your posse, and now you have an excuse to punch Andrew Bath in the face.
Yeah, take a bath.
Yeah,
blood.
take a bath, Stinky. He drank his piss once.
Yeah, we all do. Sometimes. Anyway,
Him and Bear Grylls and Pat Oates.
Yeah, I never drank pee. I did almost throw up one time because of my buddy. We were painting. They wouldn't let us go inside to go to the bathroom, and we were painting a house. And they're like, you got to be out there, and you got to pee into a Pepsi bottle. And my buddy knew I would get sick. Like the two things I can't handle is anything with pee or anything with boogers, like that kind of shit. Like it's like I just like it's bad. I don't know why. It's just my stomach's real fruity when it comes to that kind of shit. So. This guy, we're in their yard. It's in the middle of the day, and my buddy Stu would fill the bottle. And one day he goes, "I'm thirsty," and he's going like, and he's got the 2-liter bottle full of pee. And I'm like, "Dude, stop!" And the family's coming home, and my other buddy Mike is there, and they're like, he's like, "Dude, guys, we're gonna get fired." And Stu's like, "What are you talking about? I'm just gonna have a big drink of this." Whoa! And he's going like this, and he went like that, and then he like tripped on something, went like this, and a little bit with his mouth. He spit it out. I threw up all over their driveway. The lady comes out. She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, ugh. And he's like, "I got pee in my mouth," and we got fired.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
He got pee in his mouth and fired in the same day? Normally you get a raise when that happens.
And I watched him drink pee. And then we went home, and he goes, "Watch this." And he saw his girlfriend. And he goes, "I miss you, baby," and give her a big open mouth kiss. We're like, "Oh, you're a piece of shit."
My man.
No, dude, I would not let a hot woman pee on me. I wouldn't let anyone, and nobody, that woman, man, nobody. I don't care if it's God. There's a lot worse you could do to me before that. It would take like millions and millions to even let pee near me. I know I want the money, but I still do pee on you. That's fun. No pee. Pee. Peace.
She's hot enough. I could live with it. Just like
why does it matter? It's urine. Urine's not attractive.
Nah, but if you know.
So wait, if she's hot, she can shit in your chest?
Nope. Shit's where I draw the line. Number one, not number two.
With poop.
Yeah. No.
Thanks,
dude,
Rusty.
Don't you dare cross that poop line, Rusty.
Yay. So please like, subscribe, all those fun things. We hope you all have a wonderful rest of your, I know I found them earlier, a Wednesday morning. Tomorrow, we do not have a morning show, so we can go back and watch the ones this week if you missed anything. And if anyone in the chat there has an idea that they want for our Thursday thoughts, you can join our Patreon and let us know on there when I put that link up of what you'd like us to talk about. One of the stories that we did this week that we could deep dive and have more fun with. If one of the Patreon people want to be involved in the show at all, let us know and you can be on it as well. If you don't want to go on there, you can just, on this one, once the video is up and it's back in replay, just make a comment underneath your Thursday thought idea of one of the stories you want us to deep dive into more. We appreciate that. Like, subscribe, like I said, join the Patreon, all those fun things. I just got, throughout the show, I was getting texts and things. At early next week, we will have the link for the album recording. So August 8th, 9th, and 10th, we'll have all the links for the ticket sales for the shows at Mohegan Sun. So we'll let you know soon. So right now, you should be buying the tickets to June 28th and 29th in Wethersfield, the end of this month, for the great shows there. ComedyCraftBeer.com is where you buy those tickets. This Saturday, I'm in Southbury, Connecticut. It's a fundraiser for a Lions Club. It's an open show. Myself, Avery Quinn, and a couple other comedians are on the show. So please come check that out. If you're in the area, let me know. Let you know how to get tickets. This Saturday at 2:00, if you are a viewer and fan of WATP, who are these podcasts, I'll be returning back on that show again over there. So in their Discord, they do a live thing. If you're a Patreon member and all that, you can see that shows. If not, if you're somebody who just watched it afterwards, by about Tuesday or Wednesday, you'll see clips of me shitting on Stuttering John. So there you go. Check that out. Bobby.
If you can't join them, beat them. And don't be a piece of shit.
And don't go to a fuck